How are we doing today, YouTube? This is Killstarter TCG coming at you guys with a second place OTS Championship deck profile. We recently had an OTS Championship in our local area where I got fourth after 5 rounds of Swiss, and we made it all the way to the finals with a cobbled together brick of a deck. 60 card roll ad branded pile where it's not much sort of roll ad, it's more or less branded with roll ad engine just to help. Let's see. Overall, we went 8-2, losing in round 4 to the Mirror and losing in the finals to Invoked Aeon, stripping away my graveyard and my extra deck. So that's the card. Had that happen twice in a row, so not much I can do. Otherwise, if it wasn't for that, we would have had a really good win, a better map, quote unquote. I like it better. Anyways, yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the branded part of the deck, we have double white Albaz, triple Aluber, double Ecclesia, and one kit. These are all of our one card starters that gets you to everything you need to go for full end board. Super starter, you got your Cartesia, your Quem, and then your engine requirements are your kit, yeah, OG Albaz, one OG Ecclesia, one Flora, and one Albion, just because you want to make this a 59 card pile. You could make room for 3 Albion, but I figured I'd just much rather have more non-engine for that. For the rollout part of the deck, you got triple Griffo, 1 Black Chaos, 1 Skull Archfiend, 1 BLS, 1 Black Chaos, 1 Ritual Spell, and 1 Mind Shuffle. Initially, I did have the no BLS, and I would side it out relatively often, but I found that every time I side it out, I need another search target for my Skull Archfiend, so it just kind of stayed in. But this was actually more or less a good out to Library Dancer, just because they can't out it. The deck has a hard time, at least from what I've seen, outing a BLS that's 4,500 attack. So that was pretty good. The reason why I chose just the 1 Black Chaos and triple Griffo is more or less just because the Light and Darkness engine doesn't really get you to your full combo, and I figured triple Griffo is more or less necessary because that's able to get you into your engine faster than Black Chaos, and I just wanted to dedicate more non-engine, which were the 2 Pharaohs. If not, these 2 Pharaohs could probably be the other Black Chaoses, but it worked out. Pharaoh, whenever she resolves, you just win the game, at least from my experience. So I have no problem singing praises of Pharaoh. Of course, you got triple Ash, triple Fua, double Joel. I feel like all these are necessary in this format. Ash is because you want a good way to stop the Charmies, as well as Mind Shuffle. So any way to stop the the Asmine deck from getting into any part of the engine, Ash is there. Fua just because it's Fua, and Droll because you don't care about getting Drolled, but your opponent does, so you want that. For more non-engine, I have double Ghost Ogre, double Crow, triple Lob Golem. This, again, is more or less just for like Towers type decks, the Lunar Light, Mirror Match, any rollout variant, so just being able to go, yep. Because you do kind of need your normal summon at certain points, but for the most part, if you have any way to follow the white and you're able to Lava Golem them, you should have an easier time trying to break that board. So overall, I found just the Lava Golem to be relatively decent. Plus, it gives you a free pop in case you're not able to break the board. But what's happened a couple times in the tournament is I will go Lava Golem and then pitch Pharah, take my Lava Golem, and then I have 58 damage right there on board if we're able to clear it. So that was also a nifty little interaction that we were able to get through. Continuing on, you got for the spells 1 Brand Infusion, best card in the game, triple Opening, triple High Spirits, triple Fallen Virtuous, second best card in the whole game, 1 Nightingale Servant, 1 Branded Red, and 1 Battle of Golgotha. I did take a lot of inspiration from John Wilkins, and for those that don't know, Decisive Battle of Golgotha, what it does is Once per turn, it can protect any of your cards from destruction or battle by sending any one of your Albaz fusions from the extra deck to the grave. And it has a hidden effect that most stun decks weren't able to use, which is at the end phase, if you have an Albaz in your field or grave, you can special summon any Springs monster from your hand or deck. So what you would do is you would go full combo and then end on Mirror Jade by going Special Kit, add Ren in red, and then do whatever you want, pretty much. And of course, you got one Retribution just because Retribution's too good. One Grass is Greener. I've only resolved this, I think, twice, 3 times throughout the whole tournament, and the mills were bad for the most part. But the idea is that if you're able to fill up your grave with whatever spells that you need to get off of to grab off the Ritual Magician, this is the way to search them without going through something like Quem to Foolish your Golgana and then add back with Black Chaos, which is what the main combo was, which is any level 4 plus White Albaz gets you into Quem, which then bridges you into your rollout engine, which then searches this from the grave to the hand. Continuing on, you got, of course, Call By and Triple Super Poly to round out the deck. Super Poly was pretty alright. Whenever you paired up with Albaz, you're sitting pretty, and there were a couple times where I did just go Super Poly into Mixusia. Alright. For the extra deck, of course, you have your Ecclesia, your champions. And fun fact, if you're under Droll, you can just go champions, search back any one of your spellcasters from the grave, and then continue on from there. Which did happen a couple times, especially when I got Drolled under Grass. I just went champions, add Quem Foolish Kit, go into my Ecclesia, and then off to the races from there. Grignol, because it's Grignol, it's also really good. It's also your main way to bridge into the rollout engine by foolishing Skull Archfiend. Because I found that there's not really much else you want to foolish outside of the extra deck, which is relatively tight, as you can see, because we're going to have one Albion. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Double Dogma, one Queers. It never really came up as Grignol target. I mainly summon Dogmatica, Ecclesia, or Quem from the deck. But being a high spirit target, you kind of have to run it. There's that. One Brindrum, one Ash Dragon, one Lebellion, one Albion Sanctified Dragon. This did come up quite a couple times, including the Graveyard effect, where I just went, alright, you're going to add my Albion. Next turn, I'm going to fill the proper zones and then special summon it. The Reborn effect did come up quite a couple times where I was able to go Albion into Dogma. Just by reborning Albaz and a monster. Or, not Albaz, but Fallen White Albaz, going to Ecclesia going to OG Albaz, and then fusing there. So that did come up quite a couple times. One Mirror Jade, one Secretarian, and the card that did end up beating me, essentially. I did make Hyper Invoke Aeon quite a couple times. I wasn't able to extra deck rip like the person who won it, but that's fine. It's there as a way to continue with all the interruptions. That's it for the main deck. For the side deck, you've got my going first cards were Mercurier, Magnamut, Goldshark, and double Native Servant. Because you have a couple going second cards in the main deck, you just swap those out, put these in. I didn't really go first all that often. I think I only went first 3 times the entire tournament post side. So part of it's just pilot error. Part of it's just I was able to open better than my opponent or play better than my opponent. So I never really used all that too much, but I did go in second a lot. I opted to go triple Perulia, triple Sloth, and triple Prank Tops. This actually did come up quite in handy a couple times, where I would top deck this and go special summon, take out their only back row, which was Solemn Judgment, and that was able to help get my plays to go off. So, side deck, it worked pretty well, all things considered. Oh, and then of course, Secretariat. This is more or less just because I figured we're probably gonna face Elf Note, the mirrors. So just being able to have this floodgate is pretty good. For the future, I might just take out the Albion and put this in its place. But I wanted to make sure I had enough extra deck space to where my Albaz fusions wouldn't run too low, even though you do have Dogma and Scroll Archfiend to help make everything better in a grind sense. But yeah, I didn't want to make sure I came into this event without a second hero or a way to stop those decks, but it did come up quite a couple times in comboing and being able to make a break the board. But yeah, overall, the deck performed pretty well. I think the biggest issue is there's not that much monster negation, which could have helped against the Aeons or most of my two losses against the rollout pile. Even though it was a 50-minute game one, I just conceded because I didn't want either of us to get the double loss, and I was running low on resources. But yeah, anyways, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think.